How are you? How's your week? Are you enjoying this weather? It's drawing closer and closer to Christmas. So if you have children, you will know how super excited they are getting. And if you are a mother or father, you will know how stressed you are becoming. Because you are the one who has to organise it all. You are the one who has to get all the food sorted, invite all the people who are going to be joining you for Christmas Day, and buy all the presents, wrap all the presents, send all the Christmas cards, etc., etc. So, does this help you? Living in this state of stress for at least 1 month of the year? Probably not. So, how are you going to manage that stress? Switch off, go abroad, opt out, do something for somebody else. There are plenty of options. Or just enjoy. Just enjoy the process unfold and watch the little faces of the children who get so excited about Christmas. Or will you choose to work with a charity for homeless people or people who really do struggle this time of year? And will you go and work in a soup kitchen? Will you make boxes up for people to have a wonderful, beautiful Christmas Day who wouldn't perhaps have had one of those? Now, this is obviously the time of year for all this conversation, and it is aligned sort of with vibrations, your energy. So, if you worry and stress about Christmas and, running around after everybody else and thinking, oh, I hate this Christmas, it's too much pressure and all the rest of it, then you're probably not serving yourself, and you're definitely not serving anybody else. So today I wanted to talk about something a little bit different to what I normally talk about. And that is, because I like these different conversations, don't I? I love to share them with you too, because I love your feedback and engagement with them. There's two schools of thought, two ways of looking at it. And it's kind of one in the same thing. One is the map of consciousness. I started talking about this in my workshops and in my masterclasses, and that is the map of consciousness. And the creator of this is David Hawkins. Now, the map of consciousness is very, very interesting because it is a kind of guide or scale, if you like, of all the emotions, from the lowest vibrating emotion with a very heavy, heavy energy to it, like guilt and shame, and going right up to enlightenment, which is at the very, very top of the map of consciousness. So how conscious are you? How aware of you are you? How awake are you? How conscious are you? Are you vibrating at a high conscious level, or are you vibrating at a low conscious level? In other words, the more present you are, the more aware of everything around you are and yourself, the higher your vibration. This isn't good or bad, it's just a different vibration. And the less present you are, so living in the past, living in the future, getting distracted by things, feeling overwhelmed by everything, not pausing, not taking time for yourself, feeling harassed and stressed all the time. So your vibration may be a bit lower. And the good thing about the map of consciousness, which is one of the things I really like, is that he talks about numbers. So a really low vibration would be something like shame, and that'll be about 20. Guilt, maybe about 30. And interestingly enough, Hitler was 37. And then enlightenment is 1,000. So Buddha was thought to have been vibrating at about 1,000. Unsurprisingly, peace, love, joy, harmony, a very gentle soul. And Mother Teresa vibrating at a very high level. So people who are very loving, very kind, very gentle from the inside and outwardly are going to be vibrating at a much higher level. And there are numbers included in this, and it's really good. And I wanted to touch on the numbers, but also look at the impact of your own vibrational level. So it calls you really, or invites you to be aware of where you're at. Are your vibrations, your energy, are you operating at, not necessarily, vibrating at, but are you operating at a low level of consciousness? In other words, you're worried about the past and you're worried about the future, or are you much more conscious and therefore much more present, the moment, not distracted by anything else other than what you're doing right now? And play around with that and find yourself, there will be times when you're really present, and there will be times when you're completely in a daydream, in a world of your own, whatever that is. And sometimes being in a daydream is good because it's kind of manifesting, using your imagination and letting it run riot and thinking, what about this, what about that? Oh, wouldn't it be wonderful if? And actually that's quite good for you too. But it's more so that if you're not present and you're worried about the past and worried about the future, and you're anxious about stuff and you're stressed about stuff and you're constantly worrying and you feel as if you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders, you're completely overwhelmed a lot of the time. Or maybe you're stuck in the low vibrations and you don't know how to get out of it. Things like anxiety, things like depression, things like guilt, things like shame. You may not know how you got there, but you're not quite sure. You don't feel comfortable there, but you're not quite sure how to change your life. So that's a map of consciousness. And then there is the work that I've been doing more of, which is the emotional scale. Similar, very similar, and the work has come from there. And that is, your emotional scale is, again, from things like depression and hopelessness right up to love, joy, peace and abundance, all. So for low level is negative, high level is positive. And you've heard me speak about the invisible line, which is 0. Anything below the line is negative, anything above the line is positive. And so, what our duty is and our responsibility is for ourselves in the first place and others, leading by example, and being the change that we actually want to see in the world, which is always the best way to be, live by example, is notice how you're feeling. Oh, thank you. Notice how you're feeling at any moment in time, any point during your day. Notice how you're feeling. And that's when you notice how you're feeling, that's when awareness comes in. And you can ask yourself the question, how am I feeling today? And that's really helpful. So your emotional scale is similar to the map of consciousness, but without the numbers. And anything negative below the line, anything positive above the line, when you can tip the scales, quite literally, of your day, where you can be much more in the positive, because you're not always going to be in the positive, and you're not meant to be, and it is all about contrast. I get all of that. However, I will say that your mood, your state of mind, how you're feeling, is actually completely down to you. You can change it at any point. It is not something good happens, you feel good. Something bad happens, you feel bad. Because that's when you give your control away. That's how we've been programmed. That's what we think is the case. And yet, how about if you turn that on its head? And you say, today I'm going to feel great. I'm going to have a wonderful day. And you start being grateful for different things. And there's a million things you can be grateful for. The sun that's shining, that's heating up the ground, that's shining on your face and giving you vitamin D. This time of year you need it loads. Actually, it doesn't give you vitamin D. It just helps you absorb vitamin D better. So you need the sun. And it's good. Particularly before 10 o'clock in the morning and after sort of 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's milder, the sun, the impact. And therefore, it's safer for you to be out in it before 10 a.m. and after 4 p.m. and still absorb all the goodness and yet not get all of the badness of the sun. So you have a choice. So I decide this morning that I'm going to have a brilliant day and that I'm going to do my best and that I'm going to have a positive day. So I'm making a conscious decision. I'm setting the intention that that's going to be my day. Now, how do you suppose you're going to feel when you set the intention of your day? And you say, this is what's going to happen today. I'm going to have a great day. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. What's your day going to look like when you start setting the intention for it? Is it more likely to go your way or not? And how's it going to look if you have no idea about your day? You just sort of stumble across your day. You don't have any particularly positive or negative thoughts. You just don't think about it at all. You just get on with it. How do you think your day is going to pan out then? You see, it's all about planning. Now, how many times does school, does work, does your family, do your coaches say, okay, you need to plan, you need to have goals, etc., etc., etc.? Yes, to achieve what you want to in your working environment, and also in your personal life, and also in your day, every day. You see, you're more likely to achieve what you want to achieve when you plan it, when you set the intention. Now, I'm not suggesting that you sit down with pen and paper every single day and write reams of what you want to achieve. Just sow that little seed. Because sowing that little seed is setting that intention. Putting out there, this is what I want my day to look like. I'm open to opportunities. And this is very, very powerful, speaking to yourself internally, or you can vocalize it. If you're by yourself, you can speak it out loud, or you can say it into your head. And the last few weeks, I've added in something extra to what I say to myself every day. And it's manifested itself. So it's fantastic. It's amazing. It really, really works. Think about what it is you want, not in a paragraph or an essay, but a word. You know, what do you want more of in your life? Do you want more happiness? Do you want better health? Do you want better relationships? Do you want happier work life? Do you want more chilled out children? What is it that you want in your life? And focus on that. And then think of one word that sums that up, and then say to yourself every day, I allow this into my life. I'm grateful for having this in my life. You see, every day, and here's a thing you can try out. It was suggested to me and I've taken it on board and I really appreciate it. And by the way, if you can't remember to always say the same thing to yourself every day, or follow new habits or lots of different new habits, then pop it in your phone. Most of you have phones. Just stick it in your phone, in your calendar, and then repeat every single day, 8 o'clock in the morning or whatever time you get up, so you see it first thing it pops up. And this is what I've started to do. So I'll share it with you if you're open to that. And then you can maybe take it on board, try it out for yourself, see how it works for you. Rather than forcing things, of course, do your gratitude every day, 5 things you're thankful for, and write them down and really feel how you feel about those things. Sure, do that. Set your intention, how you want your day to look. Certainly do that too. In addition, just leave it open in a way that Susan Jeffers spoke about in her books. Living with Uncertainty, which was her 3rd book. And it was a difficult one to read because it wasn't always in the positive. However, it did set the scene for living a real life, living with uncertainty. We've all got to live with uncertainty because actually at any point in time anything could happen. And the truth is, we cannot control everything. We're not meant to control everything. So by accepting that things might go wrong, might go bad, might go a little bit squiffy, might not be exactly the way we want them to be, by being flexible to changes and adaptable to situations, we're going to be much happier. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but you're open to it. So each day, be open to allowing yourself. And these are the 3 things that I say every day now. Be willing to allow yourself to see what there is to see today. to know what there is to know today, and to feel what there is to feel today. So every day you're going to allow yourself this situation. Be open to what comes through for you. Be open to what lessons there are out there, what things will come up for you during the day. Notice how you're feeling when you go to work, when you're around certain people, when you're outside. Notice what's going on for you. What can you see? What do you know? What do you learn? What do you rediscover? What do you remind yourself of? And what do you feel? Because by doing this, you're connecting yourself with your senses, which will build the trust in yourself. And at the end of the day, this relationship with you is the most important relationship of all of your relationships. Yeah? So every day, focus on yourself. Because when you make sure that your glass is always full, you've nourished yourself, you've nurtured yourself, you've been kind and gentle with yourself, then your cup will brimeth over. Which means that everything that's spilling over in your cup is for everybody else. Because you're so full yourself, there's plenty for everybody. Whereas on the other side, if you haven't got anything to give because you're completely out of energy, out of love, out of effort, whatever it is, because you've given it all away to your kids, to your work, to your parents, to your partner, to your friends, then how can you serve somebody else? How can you help somebody else? There's nothing left. How can you do it? So then you build up resentment. So that's not helpful. So here's what I looked at and noticed, and I thought was fascinating. I'm just going to look at my notes here to remind myself. Going back to the map of consciousness, you can raise your level of consciousness. And here's what I think is beautiful. You know that you have an aura, that who you are spreads out, right? So your aura, the energy that you are literally emitting, whether it's low vibration, high vibration, whether you're feeling joyful, happy, peaceful, calm, excited, whatever it is, or depressed, anxious, concerned, worried, stressed, closed off, whatever it is that you are feeling is in your aura, and it goes out up to 20 meters away. So anybody within that area is going to be feeling what you're feeling, and therefore affected by how you are, and you're going to be affected by how they are. So it's actually really important, particularly if you've got children and you want to, nourish them and nurture them and make sure that they are in the happiest place, that they feel safe, they feel supported, they feel secure, they feel loved. So if you're feeling depressed and feeling angry or feeling hurt or whatever it is, they will get a sense for that. They will be aware of that. And children are really susceptible to this. Yes, they're resilient, but they're also incredibly sensitive and receptive to this. So they will be able to pick up on a subconscious level how you're really feeling, what's really going on. So it doesn't matter what you're saying or doing, because unless you're feeling that way too, they will see what you're feeling. Yeah? So to impact people, and you can only do this with good feelings. It doesn't work with the bad stuff, which is wonderful. So where are you vibrating? So I've written some of the vibration numbers down here, and you can have a look. Just go to Google, go to YouTube, or even go to Google and put map of consciousness, David Hawkins, and you'll get loads of different pictures and really nice like cones with all of the emotions and all of the numbers that relate to that. It really is lovely to look at and really helpful, and it makes sense because you can see where it is on the scale, on the emotional scale, positive, neutral or negative below. So anything below the line is going to be a really heavy energy, a very draining energy. Anything above the line is much lighter, and it feels more pleasant to be around. So you go into a room and you think, oh my gosh, it's like as thick as pea soup in here. It feels really prickly. I'm not quite sure. I feel really uncomfortable here, but you can't explain it. That's because the majority of the people in the room, and it's not a negative thing in terms of, it's not a criticism, they're not bad people. It's just that whatever's going on for them is a low vibration. It's heavy, heavy, heavy energy. Because most of the people around you are feeling this negative heavy energy, and they might not be aware of it. Likewise, you can go into a meeting or a concert or a restaurant or whatever, and it feels light and happy and calm, and it feels nice being in this space because on an energetic level, the majority of people are operating on a much higher vibrational level. So you can feel that. It feels nice. It feels good. So 500. Now, bearing in mind that 50% of the world lives below 200. Now, I already shared with you that Hitler was 37, which is so super low, just above guilt, unsurprisingly. So 50% of the world operates and lives below 200. Okay, so all dictators that have ever lived operate below 200. So actually we want to tip the scales, we want to raise our vibration so we can feel a bit better. And here we go. So a person vibrating at 500, which is just above love, can actually, maintaining that vibration, you will go up and down slightly, but maintaining that vibration of 500, and this is beautiful, can positively impact 750,000 people. That's just one person. So if you are vibrating and operating and living your life on 500 or just above 500, you will positively impact 750,000 people. That's amazing. Amazing. A person, oh, and that is love, 500 is love. If you are operating at 600 and living your life in this area, and 600 is peace. So one person again, just one person operating at 600. I love this subject, it's beautiful. One person operating at 600 can have a positive impact on 10 million people. 10 million people. That is absolutely incredible. So if there's 60, 70 million people in this country, 60 million, 70 million in this country, is that right? Say, for example, there is. Then you've only got to have 7 people who are operating at 600 to impact the entire country. And we'll even go a step further. 700. A person vibrating at 700, that's really high, and it's probably not going to be that visible. There might only be 1 or 2 people, because that's enlightenment. And chances are, when somebody is operating at 700, which is enlightenment, their work on earth is almost done. They may not be around forever. So chances are there are beautiful people who have passed, who were probably vibrating at 700, and therefore their impact on the world was so vast that when they went much higher, they literally didn't need to be in this physical plane anymore. So, a person vibrating at 700, which is enlightenment, one person will have a positive impact on 70 million people. One person. So you could have 7 people operating at peace, which is 600, 7 people, or 1 person operating at 700, which is enlightenment, to affect 70 million people. That's amazing, isn't it? Absolutely amazing. So that got me really excited, and that's why I wanted to share this with you. Oh, hi Jazz. Hi Hannah. That's why I really wanted to share this with you, because we can all change You've done great work for yourself, by the way, Hannah. It was lovely to see you. Big, massive kiss for you. Yeah, so, it's really important that we not only get ourselves into this state, this beautiful, positive, amazing state, but that we allow it to shine out of us and share in every single communication and correspondence with everybody. Whether it's a phone call with somebody, whether it's a conversation with somebody, whether it's a photograph with somebody, whether it's text, whether it's email, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is that you're feeling at that moment in time, if you start writing an email to somebody, for instance, and it's, I don't know, if you're applying for a job and you're writing an email and you're feeling really gloomy and depressed and not in a good mood and feeling, I'm completely out of time here, I'm not sure about this job and I don't feel good, then I need to share this with you. How you are feeling will come across in your words, whether it's visible to you or not. On a vibrational level, it comes across in your words. The same for photographs. So people are always encouraged, people in the public eye, people who have professional photographs done, they are encouraged to have their photographs updated at least once a year. Because the truth of the matter is, last year, you are not that person anymore. This year, you are the new you. So if you're still using last year's photographs, you have upgraded, you have evolved, you have discovered more, you have learned so much more since then. And if last year you weren't in a good place and you're still using the pictures from last year, then you are saying and putting out there to everybody, this is where I'm still at. It's all subconscious. It's all hidden. Nobody will know on a conscious level, but the impact will be that you won't approach or attract the opportunities and the people into your life that you want to right now if you're using an old picture where you weren't particularly vibrating at a high level. And so every time you have your picture taken, make sure that you're feeling good as well as smiling. Make sure every time you write a text, you write an email, or you speak with somebody on the phone or face to face, make sure that you are feeling as good as you want to feel to have a positive impact on whatever it is you're doing. Particularly if it's going on a new date, going out with some friends, having a great fun family time, or applying for a new job, something that requires you to put energy out there because you're looking for opportunities to come back to you. I know that's biggie, but it's really true. Give it a go. Try it out, test it out, and just honestly, truly and believe that you are amazing. You are so powerful. And I know I've said this a million times, but I'm going to keep saying it every single day to you all till you get it. Until you really feel it, until you absorb it, because it's so important that you do get it and you just believe it. You've got to believe in yourself and, have faith in who you are and celebrate the fact that you're different to everybody else. And never compare yourself to anybody else, because there's always going to be somebody who's prettier, who's younger, who's taller, who's smarter, who's funnier, who's richer. And you know what? It really doesn't matter. Because when you truly know who you are, know why you're here and what your gifts are, then you realise that it's pointless ever comparing yourself to anybody else. And it's pointless listening to other people and what they say about you if it's not serving you. When somebody says, oh, you know what? I'm not sure that you're cut out to do that. Or, who do you think you are giving that a go? Or do you have the right qualifications for that? All these things, all these comments are judgment. And nobody actually has the right to judge you. By the same token, you don't have the right to judge anybody else either. And when you stay on your own page and you're clear about who you are, what your amazing strengths are, and what your purpose on this life is, what you're here to do, because you have a massive job. It's an exciting job that you signed up for. And you take responsibility for everything you say, everything you think, everything you do, everything you listen to, everything you read, and the people you hang around with. You can move your life in the direction you want it to go to. Thing is, be mindful that it's not just going to happen overnight in 1 second. It happens gradually. And in this world of immediate, instant gratification, brand new this, want it now, be patient and be confident and believe in yourself. And know that when you have a serious intention that resonates with you, that you feel it's the right thing for you, and you truly believe it's yours, it will eventually come to you. So I hope you enjoyed that little bit of information about the map of consciousness and about the emotional scale with the numbers and with the emotions. And go onto Google and have a look at it. And see what you think of it, and play around with it, and test it out, and see what you feel, see what resonates with you. And anything that's not serving you, like the lower vibrations, just release them. Be prepared to feel what you do feel. I'm not saying you have to be happy every day, because trust me, you don't see me when I'm not feeling 100% because I'm crying in my soup, or, you know, I've got mud everywhere, or whatever it is. Because I'm not really inspirational when I'm at my worst. I'm only really impactful and inspirational when I'm at my best. And this is to inspire and empower you to get to believe in yourselves. I have done a few dodgy videos where, you know, I've been feeling really down and I've just gone out for a walk and stuff like that. So you might be able to find something on YouTube. But that's really not going to serve you. It might make you think, oh, well, at least it's not just me who has these bad days. Everybody has bad days. But it's not really giving you any value. It's not really helping you move forward in your life. And so that's why, you know, it's beautiful to share with you amazing things that as I'm learning them, I'm sharing them with you. So you can share them with other people and you can really learn them for yourself. So thank you very much for joining me. It's lovely to see you all. And thank you for my beautiful love hearts and my thumbs up. It's all about the love, baby. Spreading the love. And have a gorgeous evening and a beautiful rest of the week. Enjoy the sunshine and make sure you get out in it. Close your eyes and put your face up to the sun and get the sun on your arms or your neck or your face, particularly first thing in the morning, and just feel that energy, feel that light, feel that beautiful power of the sun. Enjoy everything that you have that's around you. Be grateful. And have a gorgeous week. See you next week. Bye.